Okay folks, I found this and I cleaned it, and it's a real Aussie Day staple that I'm sure people are having. We all know people love to get inebriated during Australia Day celebrations, getting smashed, getting drunk, getting pissed, blotto, whatever it goes by. People just love to get drunk. I don't understand why people want to get drunk on Australia Day. I see Australia Day as a day that potentially could be used more often to celebrate actual achievement, like manufacturing and commerce and all that sort of stuff, instead of just concentrating on recreational lifestyle, and that is getting drunk and getting on your boat and going in the Sydney Harbour ferry race or something stupid like that. Trivial. To me it is trivial. But anyway, let's see what this thing is. Okay folks, we all know what this is. This looks like the kind of drink that people would probably piss up on today, or one of them. I really want to change the way Australia is. One day I want to redesign the photocopier from scratch, because I'm into photocopiers and this is how I do my Australia Day. So, I want to redesign the photocopier. I don't just want to be a photocopier artist. I want to be a changer of the industry. I want to make the industry something better than what it is now, which is full of shit. To make the industry, to make a company that designs the best photocopiers on earth, like the hardware itself, the physical stuff lasting 60 years instead of 5 years, or typically 5 years. So, we want to make the hardware last 60 years, and we want to build it from recycled materials, including materials, or especially materials from third world or developing countries, or developed countries where pollution is high. I think of India and China as a place I'd like to help deal with their electronic waste and other plastic shit waste. Even though these new machines are not going to use much plastic, the plastic is going to be confined to places where plastic only can go. It's not going to be used for anything apart from utility, because plastic is a terrible material. It's not a nice material. It looks ugly and it doesn't last. It breaks easily. And this is it. This has come up looking a treat. So we're going to make this into something really interesting, folks. But I really want to make the photocopier industry better. And when I think of this hardware, I also think of decorative colours like anodised aluminium instead of plastic, for example. Different colours like the iPod Mini from Apple. And we don't want to be like Apple. We're not going to manufacture our machinery offshore. We're not going to use companies like Foxconn or there's another company called Flex, which used to be known as Flextronics, and they've done, historically, I don't know if they still do it, but they've done manufacturing for Xerox in the past, Flextronics, from what I've read and seen. I did see a video of their photocopier factory that manufactured Xerox equipment. I don't know if they still do that now, but basically I heard they're a really like Foxconn is not a place you want to work, because Foxconn is really, which manufactures Apple products, it's not a nice place to work because there's a lot of slave labour and a lot of abuse of workers and underpayment and overworked. A typical Foxconn day is like 12 days a week, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's slave labour, and they don't get much time to enjoy themselves, if any. So I really wanted, when I design my photocopiers and when we manufacture our equipments, we are not going to use any slave labour. We're going to manufacture it here in Australia, folks. Here in Aussie land. It's going to be, the company's going to be Australian owned, Australian made, and Australian owned, Australian designed, and Australian made. We're going to do Australia proud. And we're also going to use software that has artificial intelligence in it. So we need to, because the photocopiers of today, you see all these features, they're really difficult to work out how to use, including myself. I struggle, and there's a lot of advances in AI technology of late, which will be more than adequate to cover the kind of things I'd like to do with these equipments, to design the software. I want the software to be really like cutting edge, and basically we're going to have our software available as apps, as downloadable apps. So we download them like from an iTunes or a iTunes, or what's the other one? Not Apple, the other one, not Apple. I'm trying to think off the top of my head as I'm demoing, folks. Google Play, that's it. So I'm thinking of making these products available, these software updates are not going to be fitted on the machine as standard. The standard part is the AI software and the basic stuff like the enlargement, reduction and double siding and all that sort of stuff, the basic stuff. So you don't have to pay for unwanted bloat. No, we don't want bloatware on our fucking photocopiers. So we allow we only just have the usual features available, like the, yeah. So, we really want to make these equipments really customizable and individually, to make for individual configuration, to make it your machine, basically, to make it your own machinery. So it becomes like an extension of yourself rather than being something that the company would force you to buy. And we don't do that, folks. We don't do that. And the apps are going to be really cheap. They're not going to break the bank. They're going to be really cheap, and they're going to basically, when you download them, they're going to basically integrate seamlessly into your AI, into the AI software that's already on the machine. That's going to be a standard. And yeah, getting back to the issue of employment, we want to pay the workers who in the factory a really decent wage. We want to make sure that they enjoy their job, and we're going to hire some skilled migrants, and we want them to be welcome. All they are required to do is to become an Australian citizen, and they get treated with great respect, and we don't treat them like slaves. We pay them a proper wage. We pay them fucking the way we should be paid here in Aussie land, but a little bit more. We've got to make sure that they're happy and they're comfortable and they're healthy and safe, because that's the way work should be. And they've got to be passionate about photocopiers too, folks. They've got to be what's known as a toner head. Toner heads are basically photocopier nerds and geeks. People who are obsessed with photocopiers really badly, basically. And we need those sorts of people to make sure our product is done properly. Because we don't want people just in it for the money, because it is going to be a lucrative place to work, as I said. And we don't want people at the same time taking advantage of that by thinking it's okay to be just in it for the money. That's bullshit, folks. That's a load of shit. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to screen the people who come through and make sure it's the right persons, the correct people we need. So, and that's come up looking really quite interesting. I think we'll do a switcheroo. What's called a switcheroo? But I actually wonder if the switcheroo is going to work for this. I'm just going to be quick and make it happen. But basically, yeah, we want to change the way the industry's done, and we celebrate Australia Day for being able to have the best photocopying equipment on earth. No other country will beat us. It's Australia's claim to fame, and I think that's come up looking better. I think we can now call this demo quits.